right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So welcome to another Lunch and Learn. Thank you, Chief Montminy, for helping us out again this month. Lunch and Learn is always the first Friday of every month, and we have a fabulous speaker today too, which the Chief will be announcing. But I have a couple of announcements. We have the big bingo game next Thursday, that's the 11th, at 1:30. The cost is $10 for 10 games, and all the proceeds go back to you. So the Senior Center does not benefit by this bingo game, so you have the opportunity to win some good prizes. If you want to sign up for that, see Elaine at the front desk there. Also next Friday, the 12th, the Uxbridge Fire Department will be here, so that's a good event as well. They'll be making a presentation. And don't forget, this Sunday, the 7th, is uniquely Uxbridge Day at Town Common from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So get some Christmas shopping done and some treats there if you'd like. All right, Sally, do you have anything?
Absolutely. Sally is speechless?
I know, that's unusual.
She told all her stories before you got here. Good girl.
All right. Yes.
I don't think I can.
Oh, okay. She's shy.
There'll be an interruption.
All right, and Pat is busy in the kitchen. Pat, do you have any announcements? She's good. Okay. All right, let's do a moment of silence before lunch. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Lunch and Learn. My name is Chief Montminy, and thank you for coming again today. I'm here with Claudine, my assistant. There she is. Say hello to Claudine. Gail and Sally are here to cause trouble. And we've got a great guest speaker. Some of you may remember Viola, we call her Vi, from the Army Corps of Engineers, and she is one of our rangers over at West Hill Dam. And she has brought an assortment of critters here to show you today. We've got snakes and fisher cats and all kinds of stuff that she's going to show you. But she's always entertaining, so please give your attention to Viola.
And you stay right there, you can't leave, you're number one on this thing.
Hey everybody, I'll try to remember to keep this up. I usually just yell or talk loud, so if you can't hear me, wave at me and I'll put this back up there. I want to know if there's anybody in this audience today with the name Diane.
Yeah.
Where's Diane at?
We've got one Diane.
In the pink? Okay, Diane, you're close enough. Just stay right there, I'll come to you. Is there a Connie out here? How about a Bob?
We got a
Oh,
Connie.
Connie, okay, I can get to both of you.
We got a Diane and a Connie.
And is there a Bob? Oh, look at that. I'll find all three of you. I'm going to start with the chief. Where's the other Bob?
Everybody gets a free rattlesnake.
So on that note, though, Chief always reminds me, come on, Viola, 15 minutes. I could talk till tomorrow. So, is there anybody out here that's a clock watcher that just loves the time and be on, are you the drill sergeant in our crowd? So I have to get the second topic in, minus a few of these things. So what time is it? If I remember, look at the clock. Somebody up there, when that clock gets to 25 after, come up and stick a sock in my mouth. How's that? Deal. So you're here. I have Connie, Bob, Diane?
Diane.
Connie, I'm sorry. Diane's here. I got you reversed.
Bob and Bob.
So I have something that was original issue out at West Hill after the Federal Flood Control Act, and I will show you later in this picture the other thing that was issue that when I came here. But I want to see how the chief's nose is first. We're going to work on your census today for a minute. Do you have any idea, does that fragrance remind you of something? Because he's a little younger than Hurricane Connie, Diane. Keep it in your mind. All right, you're up. Does that bring back a smell memory to you of anything? Think about it.
That's something I don't know what it is.
Okay, let's go to Bob. Then I'll walk down the other way. All right, Bob, you're a little younger than some of these hurricanes too. Anything coming to mind? He's still in the market today.
Another Bob.
Another Bob, where's Bob?
So,
Right here.
Keep that right there.
What did he say?
Gold star. Okay, and let's check down here. Boop, 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 boop. I'm a-coming. Get over here. Let's see how you do. We've got one bell winner over there so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think coming to mind? Now I'm gonna use another sense on you in a minute, so. Bob, what'd you say?
ivory soap.
Ivory soap. Let me give you an idea, and this gentleman's got my little bulldozer over here for a reason, or a tractor. Issued in an old medicine cabinet out there when you started, you got your bar ivory soap, a toothbrush, one washcloth, a little metal wash pan, and a cot. And whatever hurricane and whatever was going on, and I picked a little bit with the history of that because we have a really nice time capsule and it's going to lead into your fire museum down here in Uxbridge, which might be a nice outing or a trip for you all. So anyway, all those lovely things, and the other thing that was issued there that I don't want your family got rid of, but the public bathroom when I came there was a 2-seater outhouse. And I remember corn cobs almost, and the lime and everything else we had to do, and fixing the hinges on the door, and it's a chicken coop in Charlton now. We recycle. We're good at recycling. Chief Montney, that's ivory soap.
Ivory soap.
Ivory.
Does it float?
It does. I don't know about that old bar.
That's just the deal, right? Ivory soap.
Yes, ivory soap floats. So now your second sense. Does anybody know what dessert is today? Alright, so I'm just going to borrow your senses for a minute to take you a little bit more back into these hurricanes, and I'll try to share one more picture and then we'll switch topics. Think of your absolute best piece of cake you ever ate in your life. Your eyes lit up and you've never been able to find another piece, or you go back to that bakery over there with Sally.
You probably made it.
Black Forest cake. Now, the lady at church would be that rum cake, and so would my cousin, but anyway, and the whiskey cake too that burns all the way down. Mine would have to have coconut, chocolate, or lemon. Any other flavors out there? The reason I picked hurricanes for a few minutes today, it's only been about 4 weeks since the anniversary of them. One of them being the 70th. Connie and Diane, 1955, back to back. And Daryl would have been in there, but these two did the biggest that helped under the flood control act for all your dams that are right here in our basin. There'll be a really nice poster about that. All these places you can come play now that are still acting and working, and we inspect them and oil them and lube them and replace cable and do all the things. But most of these are in your neighborhood. Next closest one being over in Oxford or Woonsocket down in Rhode Island. Oop. And a little thought went this way, but it'll come back. So on that cake, I have some things where people came to the 50th anniversary and wrote down and gave us lots of memories. We interviewed for 5 years and collected pictures, newspaper articles, everything. The only mistake back then is the technology was cassette tapes. But all the ones that wrote that day. So thinking back to that cake, it's Hurricane Connie and Diane, back to back. The last two started out, they were major 4 category hurricanes. The one didn't even clear the North Atlantic coastline, and the second one hit. They both came in through Providence, bounced at, went back out to Narragansett and struck again. So by the time they got up this way, at least they downgraded to a 2. 22 inches of rain in about 5 days. Hartford Avenue was gone. The bread trucks came in from Medfield and places. People walked and did whatever they could to get to the bread trucks. One gentleman wrote in here, it was the first time ever in his life he was working for Draper. He got a brand new Hudson. The hurricane came 3 weeks later. It was full of water. Took him 4 days to get it home. And the kids wrote in there, I'm sure he cried when we weren't looking. So you can imagine. But back to that cake. Roy Henry right down here. Go see Roy at this Uxbridge Fire Museum. Along with this picture, he's going to show you this truck, and I want you to hear the things your schools do around here. But Roy was 7 It was his birthday, about 2 days after the hurricane. And Mom said, "You're right, think what your taste buds are gonna do now." "Don't worry, honey, I have all the ingredients in the cabinet. They didn't buy cake mixes too much back then. I'll make you a cake." So she mixed it up. Might have remember those big squares of baking chocolate that our parents would say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and bite that," because you knew we weren't gonna eat it, was bitter, and they'd laugh at us. Made all that, and guess what she baked it on? The kerosene heater. That was his birthday cake. Think what that did to your flavor. But I'm thinking maybe a trip from here because it's close by and the parking behind Mom's restaurant is not too far of a walk, because your beautiful fire truck at that museum, the 1936 ladder truck, and we've recently acquired not too long ago, 1937 one. Go look for the old front cover of Life magazine on the internet, because you're two firefighters from here in Uxbridge, the volunteers, and then come over to see us at West Hill. Sally swam under and done everything else. The old stone arch bridge on West Hill Road, that was the town road. He washed out in the river during that hurricane. It was your ladder truck that rescued him, and Life shot the picture and put it on the front of the magazine. So you have history down here. But what I love about these trucks, the vocational school learned to do body work. Some upholstery, some wiring, got the engines running and everything. But all these vehicles get restored through your school system. And if you haven't had a trip over there, unfortunately the bathrooms are but anyway. The other thing that the vocational school did last year as their class project, the old 3C lodge and cabins that gave us all the fire towers, Douglas State Forest, Upton State Forest, they're in the 3Cs, Sylvan Conservation Corps. They did the electric, the windows, the insulation, and had to follow National Register of Historic Places. But if you haven't gone over there to go see that, boy, did they do a great job. And what a way to keep kids interested in their history right here. So, switching gears a little bit from hurricanes, it was the anniversary, so that in case you want to, on your handout on the table, it's showing you, and you can call or I can send Sally and Gail details, but you do have in our country what's called America the Beautiful passes, and we have all those in stock at West Hill. You also could think of somebody that can drive and get you there and say, "I'll buy the pass and let's all go." There is a disability pass that I can't stand there and read any of your personal papers or anything and say yes or no. You just sign a statement to say you have paperwork to back it up. They ask you to say a permanent disability or one that impacts quality of life. You and anybody riding in that vehicle with you, or if you ride on a tour bus, there's two people in the seat, the guest in the seat with you, you get in free. That disability one also carries 50% off of, go twist somebody's arm and say, "This is the year we buy a boat," or we take the RV and go to Yellowstone, because you get 50% off on boating and camping with those too. And there's about 400 core facilities, that's where we give you the boating and camping across the country. There is a military lifetime pass now, so if your license says veteran in any way, shape, or form, or you have a VA card, come see us, you have a lifetime pass. If you are active duty, it's 1 year to 1 year, and we have to renew those. If you have a grandchild, great-grandchild, somebody at the 4th grade level, they get a free pass that'll be good all the way to the August of next year. They haven't shipped those to me yet, so the ones I have are expired. But a bunch of parents got busted. They got the 4th grader pass, hired a babysitter, and tried to go to the park without the 4th grader. You are not going to get away with that one. There's also just the option, in Uxbridge, people bought them for quite a while. Sign up if you want to go on a cruise or something. We had 40 people from town on some cruise that went to Hawaii with Pearl Harbor and that. Buy just the $20 1-year one. It'll be good till the end of September next year. Went on their tour, and if you don't misplace that, that's $20 credit towards the $80. And if you save up 4 of them, you get your pass swapped out for a free one. And then I handled this guy a second, that little plastic bulldozer. Hold that up. I'll give you one more story out of here. I won't do Ken Gert. If you want to read some of these stories in here later that people wrote down at the 50th, one I think is funny real quick though before I forget. You may know some of the Gertons from in town, Ken and all of them. So Good old Ken Burton was the blacksmith, the saw guy back then. His house sat in the floodplain at West Hill. When the land Corps started acquiring land after those 2 big hurricanes, he said, "You gotta help me move this house." He built that himself. He worked at White and Machine Works. He brought me all the receipts. He made $11 a week. He said, "Every lumber store in this towns around here all deserve my business once a month." He bought lumber and built that whole house. The Corps found they did get it up on a flatbed and moved it, and it's up on Mendon Road, and his son Joseph is still there. But old Ken comes down to the 50th, and we're all sitting around under the big tent, which we recreated with, I was able to get the community concert band. We had everything from Camelot to everything that went on from the 50s all the way up to that 50th. And Ken's sitting there, and here comes, I don't know if I can remember all of her names right now because she married 3 times. The little dairy maid from across the pond that was always there with Ken. "Oh, Ken, I've been through 2 husbands. You want to get married?" He didn't say hi, kiss my keister, or nothing. And poor old Ken's like, "Save me, Viola." He's running. Johnson was one name. DeBraw was her maiden name. And I can't remember the other one. But the other dairy barn up next to her on the other side of the pond was how that got named Harrington Pool, because Harrington was actually a dairy farm. Now I'll just give you one quick one, because my first day at West Hill, I started August 12th. Here comes Hurricane Bob, 1891. Yep, the last Category 4 that struck right around Providence also, but it downgraded to a 2 just after it struck. So thank you, Providence. But I come driving in for my first day, and I hear, "Here's your hard hat, here's your chainsaw, go open the road in the park, you got 3 days, and don't touch the live wires." I just drove here from California. I've been living in the old Quaker Motor Lodge with votive candles for a light, and the guy came by every night and says, "Oh, honey, put those plants in the dumpster." But I moved everything here in an old Volkswagen. We made it. Looked at that person, my boss was a female back then too, and I said, "You know, I never drove one of those. Get on, I'll give you a lesson. Do not go over the speed bump in 8th gear without your seatbelt on." But I got there. No cell phones. I don't think I was able to reach my mother for 11 days. And I kept saying, "But Mom, I didn't touch the live wires." And then I walked around for days going, why did I work 7 jobs a semester to put myself through college, because they stood me up in the winter and drive down the DPW with the dump truck, load up the sand and salt mixture, and I was a sand truck. So anyway, but I'm going to get off of that. We talked a little about the passes. Just this morning, so if there's an animal up here you're interested, if there's some of you want to be brave enough for a cool picture for Sally and Gail, I have a 6-foot snake skin. Try to pick some of the animals and things you're going to probably dealing with around apartments, buildings. If you come out on any of the trails or benches, even like on the walkways here in town, wasp and hornets and those ground wasps are really bad this year. We're in a drought. They're stressed. They're going down lower. There's someone we have that we're hanging right over the trails for the trail races that we had to go out and take down. The beach gliders, I clean those, and the tops of the shelters probably every 2 days, take a nest down right now. One thing that could help if you've had one building there and you were able to already get it down successfully is, and I just did the tables and stuff out there the other day, tell my boss some of my secrets. Deep woods off as a little string under the benches and around the picnic tables seems to keep them from rebuilding. Ground wasp in the ground, all bets are off. And I can tell you right now, bald face hornets don't play by the rules. And last little kind of cute story with that, and I'm just going to let you all ask questions, because the conversations in here all morning as people stop me and were telling me things, and one lady has a beautiful picture of a bear on her phone, and all these things that were going on. Of course, I get talking and I don't write things down. Ruh-roh. It'll come back. Why don't I see if anybody has any questions, and then I'll see if that pops back up. Because it's Ask a Ranger Day.
How about the beer that's been seen around town?
We have 3 nuisance bears in the Uxbridge area. One is because we've had a beekeeper for years on West River Street. The only bears you're seeing over here right now are the boys. The girls never come this far. New ones that were born last year that they have a yearling with them, but you won't see that because the mother doesn't come this far. Beehives. They absolutely, unfortunately, that's like better than a Milky Way bar or something to a bear. And once they get trained. So we have a little bit of problem, not always, but West River Street, there's a regular beekeeper. Fortunately, we have another person out on Chug-a-Lug that likes to see all the other wildlife. And your poor game officer, whatever they are here in town, the dog officer. He or she, because I've never been out there, that's not my property that I'm licensed that I can be on, has a cannon that shoots corn to feed animals. And the bear just sits under like, I love you, fill it up again. And I get my other regular with her soot feeders that calls every year and says, well, they're ripping them down and they're in my yard. I don't remember her street, but I say, take them down. It's May or June now. We're done. I'll just get more duct tape. And now we're starting to get one, and I don't know what's upstream. I'm going to need to go walk that boundary line, but I really won't want to. I have two butters up there that do things, and I call them snake in the grass, and I don't want to know. But whatever they're doing, we do have one on the boundary of Upton coming into Northbridge now. But it seems to be a little male. It's probably a yearling that has to get out on his own, and once the food source is gone or it's time to hibernate, it probably won't be. It's not a nuisance one yet. We're just getting droppings and sightings probably once a month right now. The last comical comment, because the person has a picture of somebody that took a bear in hunting season in New Hampshire under their laws, which is fine. You have a second hunting season for bear right now for a reason. Has anybody ever heard that phrase where they say a bear looks drunk and it was staggering around? So you have corn out here right now that's still corn for us, corn for animals. You had to put a second hunting season in because those little boys fattening up for the winter, they get into a cornfield and they just start eating, and they eat so fast and it'll look like a big circle where they're feeding, and they literally get drunk. It ferments that quick. So then you have these staggering bears out, and so they always said ate itself silly or drunk as a bear. But what about anything you've had around your house or whatever's going on, or
We have one up by Pond Street.
up by Pond? How far is that from Chug-a-Lug? Maybe 2 miles, 2 miles? No, a mile, yeah. Boys will go 100, girls only go 25, and they don't ever come this side of the Connecticut River. Got any beekeepers up there?
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, the bees over by you home, where they have that bees,
Yeah. That's your glitch, probably. Yeah. But they're gonna hibernate pretty soon. You get into about October and you get rid of the Indian summer, that's when they go down. Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions or things you dealt with? Or you wanna make a great picture of Sally and Gail? I have a 6-foot snake skin you can all hold up and pose. The 3-year-olds do it, the 7-year-olds do it. Any other problems or, I keep saying, fed animal is a dead animal, though. I had a lot of people in here this morning telling me things they're still feeding. Oh, and the bobcats are moving right now, and she had 3 kittens last year at Westville, so I like watching the bobcats. They have no interest in you. The coyotes don't den on our property, they only come over to hunt, so you won't have an issue with that. Oh, yeah. That's a young one. Oh, well, there's the other thing, trash and bears. Seal it really good, because these ones that the guy comes by the curb, that flips up too easy. Upton even had that one up there for a while, so when I went over to the 3C Lodge and all that with a group hiking not too long ago, they put in a bear-proof trash can, but they keep the dumpster by the road so the guy can drive and get it real easy. Well, hello, bear's like, thank you, it's even closer to the road. Yes, go ahead.
The big cat, my father knew a shot one many years ago.
Over food in your yard, chickens or anything? What
I
happened
don't
with
know,
the
I don't know, it
picture?
was
Yeah.
before I went out with my wife.
Okay,
And then he was in Rhode Island.
okay,
Nobody knew what it was.
yeah. And that's,
Then they sent us a property.
okay.
It's down there now in the state house, I think.
Oh, I would be surprised, yeah, a lot of our animals road kills or if it gets an unusual taking like that, yeah. And that was back before we did more research, knowledge, or as we learned and improved upon things that they're getting and their habits. So,
When he shot was black.
they're much darker. This one was a really young one. It was three kids that got hit from one. So that's not a mature one. They're about as long
There's a big black seal going across the road when you see them, and it's that same movement too. We had one come out in the middle of the day on the stone wall over at Milford for the big family fair. So, yeah. And oh, somebody in here has chickens and an issue with a fisher and a fox. That happens. Yep. Food, water, shelter. It's like you put McDonald's out there for them. They can get in. They're getting in. Any other things or comments or thoughts or any question I didn't answer that has nothing to do with up here? And if not, I'm going to turn it back over to the chief. I see a gentleman in the yellow shirt. I'll come to you.
Drought area, we live in Rochester Crossing. The fear of fire breaking out would have us trying to get out of that area, and there's only one way in and one way out.
Almost like the hurricanes one way.
Right. So it would be a good idea to have a class on staying in place and what to do to prevent any damage to the house. Well, that's
Okay.
Let me work with the fire department a little bit on that, because the only last fire coming, it's not close to us yet, but Jersey had a big brush fire, but last year there was some that made it out of Jersey and made it up to New York. And then every now and then we get an isolated fire over on 146 and stuff too right now. Sometimes just spontaneous combustion, unfortunately. That's a great question. I'll work on that.
Has anybody seen white? White animal.
Oh, there's Irwins that are white. Oh, skunks. I haven't seen the albino one, but I've seen reports from you. Albino raccoon not too long ago too.
Oh, anyone else out there getting an albino skunk visiting your yard? Those are fun critters. We could spend all day on how they warn you before they spray you. Oh, last thing. So I'm going to leave handouts up here and talk about, you wave your hand if you want them. Two things I brought for you today. Speaking of all those animals, or if you go out and walk small pets, or in case you just fall in the grocery store a lot, or people a few years ago told me they don't like walking in from the back lot at Crown and Eagle after dark, you have these wonderful boat-grade safety whistles. You go on your keychain, hang it on your buttonhole, it doesn't matter. Have it where you, if something happens or something going on in your building, make a loud sound. So anybody would want one of these, I have plenty. Okay, I'm going to come around with those. And then the last thing, if you want, since it's going to rain this weekend, she still has hers. Yeah, you go, girl. Woo! Have you had to use it?
No.
Thank God. Okay, well, I'll take that.
Let's see.
This tells you all those dams are getting close to you that are not too far to travel to. But about 3 weeks from now, actually 19th of October, 20th, you're going to be in hunting season minus the early season for bears.
Knows a lot.
Sundays, no hunting on Sundays. You can always go to all these projects. But the ones with swimming beaches, you're going to have to hike in from the outer parking lot because we start shutting down the ones with beaches. If you want to book and bring the bus and do something at West Hill sometime. But on the back, going back to that rain before I forget, all kinds of word searches and mazes and fun stuff, and then you can hand it to somebody else and teach them. Go ahead.
So we can wear our reindeer costumes on Sundays in the woods.
You know, knowing a few of those two-legged species I have out there, I wouldn't count on that anymore. And it's always the two-leggeds, and then, he's long gone, but this professor I had down at the University of Georgia when I went down for a wildlife class, he's still rolling his own cigarettes in his 90s, sucking on oxygen on this side of the podium, and smoke on this side. So I'll be in the back row. And his name for two-legged species that do dumb things was Homo sapiens boobianus. Homo sapiens boobianus. Chief, you're up.
Thank you very much, Vi. Yeah, for those who, a round of applause for Viola. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know the story, these two miscreants over there dressed up at Christmas time as deer, and they went into the woods to take photos, and it was deer season.
We were reindeer, we had bells on, and lights.
If you give any of these whistles to a kid, their parents are going to get eaten.
Yeah, so who wants to give a whistle to their grandkids? Eh? All right, folks, thank you. See you next month.